Russian Navy has finally joined their counterparts from two other dimensions, ground and air, in the fight against Ukraine. Russia deployed dozens of their amphibious ships to Berdyansk, the Ukrainian port city they had seized. Berdyansk is close to the port city of Mariupol, which is still under Ukrainian control. On February 27, Russian troops claimed to have captured Berdyansk in the Sea of Azov. Russian troops in Berdyansk displayed about 10 captured Ukrainian naval and coast guard vessels, including 2 Gyrza M-class patrol boats. On March 14, President Vladimir Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, stated that Russian troops were seeking control of other key cities in Ukraine, which had long been considered part of the Kremlin's larger tactical strategy. For Russian troops in Ukraine, Mariupol remains a top priority. Only by capturing the city would Russia be able to fully control the coastline along the Sea of Azov. The success of this target will then serve as a land bridge between Western Russia and the occupied Crimean Peninsula through the disputed territory of the eastern Donbas region of Ukraine. Citing the Eurasian Times, Mariupol has been under siege by Russian troops for more than a week, bringing supplies to the cities to a halt. Local officials report that residents face acute shortages of drinking water and food. Most of the city has been destroyed by indiscriminate Russian bombing. Despite these challenges, Ukrainian forces continue to resist Russian aggression in the area. On March 13, 2022, the British Ministry of Defence stated that Russian naval forces had established a blockade deep in the Black Sea coast of Ukraine, stressing that warships were continuing to attack from the sea and were possibly planning landings. According to British intelligence, the blockade has effectively cut off Ukraine from global trade, as the Russian Navy continues to launch missile attacks on the country. Zelensky did not name the officer, but an advisor to the Ukrainian Interior Ministry said Major General Oleg Mitiev had been killed by the far-right Azov battalion, the BBC quoted. Oleg Mitiev died Tuesday, March 15, 2022, in the raid on the southern port city of Mariupol, making him the fourth general to die in the fighting. The death of the fourth general has some asking why senior members of the Russian military are so close to the front. Analysts believe that about 20 generals led Russian operations in Ukraine, meaning that if all reported deaths are confirmed, a fifth of Russian generals have died in Zelensky not naming the officer, but an advisor to the Ukrainian Interior Ministry said Major General Oleg Mitiev had been killed by the far-right Azov battalion, as quoted by the BBC. Oleg Mitiev died on Tuesday, the 15th of March 2022, in the raid on the southern port city of Mariupol, making him the fourth general to die in the fighting. The death of the fourth general has some asking why senior members of the Russian military are so close to the front. Analysts believe that about 20 generals are leading Russian operations in Ukraine, meaning that if all reported deaths are confirmed, a fifth of Russian generals have been killed in action. With losses so high, some experts believe that not only was the generals in the wrong place at the wrong time, but that Ukraine was likely to target top Russian officers. I don't think this was an accident. One accident, but it's a lot to target, Rita Konayev of Georgetown University told the BBC. Speaking to the Wall Street Journal, someone in President Zelensky's inner circle said Ukraine has a military intelligence team dedicated to targeting the Russian officer class. They are looking for famous generals, pilots, artillery commanders, the man told the newspaper. With the Ukrainian military outnumbered, targeting high-level individuals could become a key part of information warfare, according to Ms. Konayev. Assuming there is an element of targeting, this feeds Ukraine's own morale. There is an element of victory. It's inspiring. In order for Ukraine to target certain Russian officers, it needs to know where they are. Analysts say that Russia has used open communication channels that can provide clues about where certain targets are. If Russia uses cell phones or analog radios to communicate with senior officers, Ukraine has everything, defense analyst Konrad Muzyka of Rocken Consulting told the BBC. Another general killed. Major General Andrei Kolesnikov, of the 29th Combined Army, was killed in fighting on March 11, according to official Ukrainian sources. However, the circumstances of his death were not explained. After Kolesnikov became the third Russian general to be reported killed in Ukraine, a Western official told the press association that Russian soldiers may experience low morale, which is why high-ranking military officers are moving closer to the front lines. Second, Major General Vitaly Gerasimov, Chief of Staff of Russia's 41st Joint Army, was killed on March 7 outside the eastern city of Kharkiv, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Kharkiv, which is close to the Russian border, is under continuous attack from Russian troops. Ukraine's military released footage of what two Russian security service officials said discussing Gerasimov's death, and complained that their secure communications network was no longer functioning in Ukraine. Gerasimov was involved in the Second Chechen War, Russia's military operations in Syria, and in Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. Major General Andrei Sukhovietsky, a deputy commander in the same unit as Gerasimov. He was the first general to be reported dead. Sukhovietsky was reportedly shot by a sniper on March 3. Like Gerasimov, Sukhovietsky was part of Russia's military operations in Crimea and in Syria. Unlike other generals, Sukhovietsky's death was reported in the Russian media, and Russian President Vladimir Putin confirmed in a speech that a general had died in Ukraine.